This is Betty Buzz sparkling grapefruit. And in my cup, I have pickles and lemon. Oops, jumping all over the place. So I had to make sure that I research all of the videos, mostly all of them. So I spent the last few days researching and looking at what we have here on YouTube when it comes to elegance. And mostly are very, very interesting because they are teaching us how to dress and how to act, which perfumes to put on. But unfortunately, elegance is more than the external. It's more than the material things. Elegance is how you carry yourself and how you flow through the world. It's by the way you dress, of course, but also by your mannerism. And mannerism is something that you grow into. And it's also something that you can also learn later in life. And now let's talk about how elegance really came to be. To understand something, you have to go back to how it started and why. Let's just say elegance did not begin with fashion. Elegance began with the royals back in the days. Elegance was something that was set in place in order to divide the regular people from the elite. And so you would have certain codes and certain ways of being that would get you further from the regular people. And that was sort of like the coding between the elites. It was a way the royals and the kings and the queens would walk and move and carry themselves and talk and even dress. And this was a way of them dividing themselves from the regular people. It wasn't until the late 1700s, after the French Revolution, that people kind of saw elegance as something that was not welcoming because the kings sort of thought way too highly of themselves. You should probably read about it. It was King the 14th, I think, in France, and they ended up actually hanging him because they just didn't like him. But that's another story. Also, before we move forward, let me say this clearly. Elegance is not lifting your finger while you drink tea. That is not it. That is theatrical, almost not even practiced, okay? All of the extra, almost unrealistic behaviors and teaching that you see online, you can worry less about that. That's not what we're talking about here, okay? Elegance is something that once you have it, you know you don't have to prove it to anyone. When you find yourself proving elegance, then that's a problem. Then probably you are not as elegant as you think. So a lot of people think wearing pearls and wearing certain dresses and doing your hair a certain way, that's it, that seals the deal. But that is not it. An elegant woman has a grace that reflects through the clothing that she's wearing. Again, we're talking about the inside reflecting out. It's like taking care of your skin from the inside, eating the right vegetables so that you can glow. And you cannot just use skincare on your skin without doing the inside job. It's the same formula for elegance. So elegance is about how you enter a room and how you're calm in a frustrating space. It is how you listen. It is how you speak. So elegance is, again, internal. I'm sure by now you probably already understand where I'm going with this. It's a work that has to be done. My mother raised a lot of girls, and fortunately for us, we grew up in a very well-off family. And my sisters, they were busy mixing martinis at home while my mother would take us. We would spend basically the whole day with my mom. Sometimes she would let us hang with our aunts who would take us to restaurants where we would learn mannerism. My mother had an amazing time raising us, instilling in us all of the values that she believed a woman should have. She taught us how to act when people are around, how to smile a certain way. She taught us how to wake up early and how to fix our hair and how to take our time. She taught us how to cook. She taught us how to clean. She taught us how to be around or not be around people, and how to dress and how. She taught us how to be feminine. She made sure we always looked sharp every time we went to school. And before we even started school, she made sure we were ready for school. she just had a way, something about my mother. She was like Princess Diana. She's really one of the women that I admire a lot. This woman moved with grace. She had a certain grace in her that she really tried her hardest to instill in us. Though she did all of the great work on giving us the values and teaching us how to be around people and everything from mixing martinis to how to make white French sauce. The way she took care of her husband and the way she taught us how to be and the way she balanced motherhood and wifelyhood, it was just amazing. We went to good schools and we learned mannerism. And obviously, I am Congolese, I'm African, and historically speaking, a lot of African countries, we were colonized by Europe. And unfortunately to say, but a lot of our mannerism do mimic European mannerism. And European mannerism, when you're talking feminine behaviors, tend to be super slow and elegant and very refined, very gentle, very romantic. And that is also how a lot of families in Africa who are well off are also raised because, like I said in the beginning, it is a way of separating regular people to more educated people. It's a code thing. When you know, you know. When you have a prince coming into a club, best believe he's not even going to waste his, he is not going to waste his time looking at the people in front of him, looking at the girls that are jumping. He's going to he's going to look around the room and see if there is any quiet girl in the corner, someone who is not seeking attention. He's going to look for someone who is mostly almost barefaced, less makeup, so that he can see the person that he's talking to. You know, he's going to judge by the clothes and the first few seconds, the behaviors, how you're carrying yourself, your nails, your lashes, everything come together when you are around certain type of people. And of course, through conversation, knowing the person's history, then you also can also judge a person. Elegance is learned if you do the work. I have a few tips to give you in this video. I'm just going to shoot straight to the tips. That way you can practice this along for a few weeks and then see how you feel. So we're going to talk about speaking. Basically, when speaking, just try to stay relaxed. You are not trying to force words out of you. You can get hyped. Sometimes I personally get hyped. It's something that is the American side of me because I've been in America for the longest, actually, for 22 years. I came to America when I was 15. And I remember my talk, my voice, everything was just so low and so gentle. Obviously, in America, everything is super fast. And so you have to catch up with the culture, with the tradition. And I found myself super hyped. My whole entourage used to be extremely hyped. So I became very hyped. And I remember when that relationship failed, my mother looked at me and said, "You should really listen to yourself every time you would come home." So every time I would come visit my mom, there was just me yelling, "Ah! And I promise you, sometimes my mom would have guests and they would just look, is everything okay?" All this just to say, the people around you are your mirrors. So when we came to the US, our entourage, it changed. We had to sort of blend in with, you know, the American traditions and the fast life. And we, unfortunately, most of us and or some of us sort of stripped the mannerism to match the lifestyle. Now, I'm not saying that Americans don't have manners because we can go back to the Crosby shows, we can go back to Dr. Phil. We have that. And I'm not sure where it went. Maybe I could guess that, you know, the American homes, they had two family members. They had a father and a mother. And, you know, it was just a beautiful show. And I remember watching it when I was very young, back home. The reality coming to America, living in Baltimore, wasn't really what I thought it would be when it came to the African American culture. We had to blend in. Fortunately for us, we came to the US when we were 15. And so we still had our values. It was just so hard to resist some peer pressures, you know, obviously so. I personally would say that I tried my best to hang on to the values that were instilled in us. I knew who to hang out with and who not to. I am very quickly to detach once I know that the person that I'm trying to bring around me might not be the mirror. It's all about having people around you that can that you can mirror, basically, you know, the same type of people. If you do the work of being elegant, you will find yourself slowly detaching from close people, even your friends, because they are not aligning with your softer side, with the way you move and the way you think and how you act or things you want to do and what you now listen to. It just changes your whole perspective about life and your whole lifestyle, basically. And that's a good thing because you will find yourself slowing down in a very, very busy and fast paced world. And you will find yourself in tune with yourself. You will cultivate a certain confidence in you, and you will feel it. You will just feel it. You will feel that you don't have to try hard. You will connect with people very easily, especially if you're single. You will see past the material things, the heights. You will see past all of that. You will connect in a deeper level with someone, and that's beautiful. You will basically be more refined because elegance is all about being refined, being quiet, of course, well educated and confident. So confident that you don't even have to show yourself. So you will have to fight through insecurities. You will have to sometimes talk to yourself in the mirror. You have to journal. You have to make goals on how to achieve a certain exercise that I'm about to give you at a certain time, and we will be checking in. Okay, so here are the exercises. You're gonna have to learn how to speak. When speaking, relax. Because even if you scream or even if you yell, you're still saying the same exact words. So I want you to relax and I want you to simply speak. And I'm not saying don't be the boss, babe. We're not doing that. Because being soft has a power way beyond boss babe. Being soft and elegant, knowing how to sit, knowing how to look at somebody in the eye, and knowing how to connect with the room, that's power. Knowing how to turn heads, that's the confidence in you. And I don't know if you understand this or if you have witnessed this, but the mysterious women, the quiet ones, the ones we barely see, are actually the ones that we are attracted to the most because elegance it's not about secrecy. It's about dignity. So you have to always preserve your dignity and always know how expensive your presence is. So you don't have to be everywhere, anywhere at all. You can stay home most of the time because you know that when you appear somewhere, you are adding value to the place. And adding value to the place has nothing to do with what you own or where you live or your house. It's all about how you take care of yourself and how you carry yourself. Because your presence commands the room in a very beautiful way. You are going to talk slow and you are going to stay mysterious, but also while moving around, I want you to move slow. And if you are rushing or you wake up late, I want you to learn to wake up early, very early, so you can have time to fix yourself, to do your makeup, to take a shower, to dress in a very gentle way. Just relax. Relax and come back to your senses and come back to yourself. And make sure the space around you smells good, it's feeling good, it's clean, it has space for you to just breathe and take in the day. You necessarily don't have to think about, you know, a lot of things at the same time. That's going to take time because it takes a lot of breaking down and reorganizing your life. That I get. We're going to get to that too because I got you on that. Always remember to pause. Pause before responding. Pause before getting out. See if you can remove one thing that you have on, maybe a layer, maybe a necklace, maybe the earrings are too big. Those are just a few things that you can practice to increase your awareness and to connect with yourself and to connect with everybody around you, to command the room. So when you are in tune and when you're taking your time and you're not rushing, you hear things that you usually might not hear. You can even feel where in your body hurts because you're rushing. And, especially in America, it's a very, very busy country. It's hard to really stay in tune with ourselves. I want you to focus on that, at least for a week or two, before I come back again with another subject. Slow your body down. Practice yoga, Pilates. So remember, elegance is way beyond clothes. It's way beyond makeup or bags. Elegance is all about the inner self control. Okay. It's how you move. It is how you speak and how you connect. It is how you take your time because you have to slow down. It's how you are in tune with yourself. The confidence that's gonna, fire up in you, that's the confidence that resonates. That's one thing that you see that you probably are wondering, how is she still different than me? The confidence will come if you put in the work. These little exercises, they seem easy, but they might make you feel a little out of place for a little bit. But I promise you, if you keep on, you're going to achieve that inner that inner light that will resonate everywhere you go. And if you made it this far, elegance is already choosing you. If you want to see more videos on this subject, definitely let me know because I am more than happy to share everything that I have learned from my childhood to the modeling industry to now as a mother. But remember, relax.